Good evening and welcome to the national news broadcast on ChannelEye. We are ready to bring you the top stories from home and around the world. I'm Nathalia Veeravardhana.
And I am Dishan Veerakone, and we start off by taking a look at your headlines for tonight. Inoculation of the booster vaccine on persons above the age of 60 years begins. Every major city in the country is to receive wastewater management systems. Gas prices once again escalate in Europe. Sri Lanka's first medical equipment manufacturing centre has been declared open. One lane reopens for traffic in Kaduganawa on the Colombo-Kandy main road. India's air pollution remains at a critical stage. Now moving on into those and other stories in detail. Now, the administering of the booster vaccine on persons above the age of 60 years has commenced today under the COVID immunization program. The Pfizer vaccine is being given as the booster dose for those who have completed 3 months after receiving the second dose of the COVID vaccines. The government has taken measures to provide a third dose under the COVID immunization program. Accordingly, the health employees, the members of the 3 armed forces and police were given prominence in inoculating the booster vaccine. So far, 128,811 persons have been inoculated with the booster dose. Vaccinating with the booster dose on persons above the age of 60 years has got underway in the western and southern provinces and also in the districts of Anuradhapura and Ampara. The Health Division says that a daily increase in the number of COVID-19 persons has been witnessed since the beginning of this month. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 23 COVID-19 related deaths which had occurred yesterday. 21 fatalities were of the age of 60 years or above. The remaining 2 fatalities were of the age between 30 and 59 years. The Department of Buddhist Affairs has granted permission to reopen Buddhist Dhamma schools from the 28th of this month, subjected to strict adherence to health guidelines. Accordingly, the department has informed all district Sasana Rakshaka Mandalayas, Bhikkhu registrars and district and regional secretaries of the Pradeshya Sasana Rakshaka Mandalayas to engage in preparations on the 21st of this month.
Meanwhile, Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath urges the public to be more responsible in their behaviours to avoid another COVID-19 outbreak in the country. He made these remarks at a media briefing held today.
So therefore, firstly, we need to make sure that these numbers are not going to rise further. For that, everyone need to act in a responsible manner, whether it is workplace, your school or public transport media or a public place like marketplace or any other open area where everyone supposed to gather, and you need to make sure that all possible health guidelines, all available health guidelines need to be adhered to at all times in a correct way so that the possibility of spreading the disease can be reduced. And we know that if there is any further deterioration of the situation, the first thing probably would have been done is to close the schools, and that will definitely deprive our children much wanted and much deprived school life of these young people, because at the moment they have already lost almost 2 years of their school life, which is very important for their childhood development and also future human resource development part, and therefore we should not do anything that will lead to the closure of schools, and therefore I would like to urge public to act in a responsible manner so that we are not going to create a situation leading to that type of unwanted situation.
Now, in a global update for COVID, Europe's leaders are toughening governmental stances and measures towards the unvaccinated as frustration grows over stalling shot rollouts and a wave of COVID-19 infections on the continent. Germany may become the next country to impose stricter rules on those who have not been fully inoculated after the parties making up its prospective new coalition government hardened their proposed COVID-19 approach in Parliament. However, several political parties have raised concerns that the rules in effect would amount to a lockdown for the unvaccinated. About 2/3 of Germans are fully vaccinated, one of the lowest rates in Western Europe, and the country's leading politicians have turned to tough rhetoric and restrictive measures in an effort to push the rate higher. Infections are meanwhile rising at a rapid rate. The country is nearing a 7-day rolling average of 40,000 new cases a day, its highest rate since the pandemic began and more than double the figure at the start of November. Austria, where vaccine uptake is lower than Germany, is suffering an intense wave of infections. By contrast, Spain and Portugal have avoided the brunt of the winter wave after posting the highest vaccination rates in Europe. Other nations in Europe are adopting measures designed to improve vaccine take-up. That step has already been taken in place, where France have cases are inching up. The country introduced stricter new entry rules this week on unvaccinated travellers from 16 EU countries.
Coming back to more local stories, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says plans are underway to set up wastewater management systems in every major city, which are currently being restricted to only a limited area. The Prime Minister has made these remarks participating through online from the Temple Trees on the opening of the Kandy Urban Wastewater Management Project today. Minister Vasudeva Nanayakara has presented to the Prime Minister the plan on hygiene, scheduled to be implemented till the year 2030, with the objective of maintaining at the highest standards on the quality of the water flow. The project also involves in the conservation of the underground water and to protect the water feeding areas. The official ceremony was conducted near the wastewater cleaning plant premises in Gannorua, Kandy. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has handed over the vehicles, machinery and equipment of the Kandy Urban Wastewater Management Project to the National Water Supply and Drainage Board and the Kandy Municipal Council. An ongoing program relating to the Kandy Urban Wastewater Project was also presented in parallel to the inauguration ceremony. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that Sri Lanka is in the forefront in provision of sanitary facility among countries in South Asia. He added that, however, several water sources have been polluted due to our own activities. That is why the Water Supply and Drainage Board has prepared the National Plan on Hygiene. Sri Dalada Maligawa, the most sacred place of worship of the entire world Buddhist community, is located in Kandy. However, problem of environmental pollution is increasing in Kandy. The Prime Minister further said they need the cooperation of the people in the conservation of environment. The Prime Minister also extended thanks to the JICA Institute for extending financial assistance for the Kandy Urban Water Waste Management Project.
Now, today was the 4th day of the debate on the second reading of the budget. Opinions have been expressed in Parliament today on several issues, including yesterday's protest campaign of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, where a person died in police custody in Panamure, Avilipitiya. Parliamentarian Ranjith Madhumandara said that thousands of persons have participated in their protest rally in Colombo yesterday, despite the efforts to destabilize the meeting. He added that they came to know of an incident of the police assaulting to death a person who was to join the protest campaign. Minister Sarath Weerasekara said that this is a complete falsehood. The person concerned was a strong drug addict. He was reported to be constantly beating his wife and children. Many complaints have been made against the victim. The minister also said that on the 12th of this month, the daughter of the victim has filed a complaint against him. Since then, the police has been looking for the culprit and arrested him around 10:30 last night. He was found attempting to commit suicide around 3:30 in the morning. A police constable, after witnessing the incident, brought him to the hospital. He added that, however, the victim has passed away while being brought to the hospital. The minister further said that the dead person had no connection with the protest. Minister Sarath Weerasekara also said that the police are always acting according to the orders of the health authorities. He further said that the opposition is engaged in an extremely wrongful act, disregarding the repeated requests of the health division not to bring people into such agitations at a time of a pandemic. Parliamentarian Iran Vikramanayaka said prices of consumer items are skyrocketing, but the people's incomes have gone down and the expenses have increased. The parliamentarian added that they would rectify the mistakes in the first instance that they take over power. The MP further said that they will accept the responsibility of reconstructing the country on behalf of the future generation. Parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansha said that they have handed over a country with an economic growth rate exceeding 6% and freed from terrorism. However, he added that they have been handed over a country back with a growth rate of less than 2.5% and filled with terrorism. The minister further said that it is hilarious to find them asking to retake such a country. Now, inflation jumped throughout Europe in October, running at an annual pace of 4.4% in the European Union and 4.2% in the United Kingdom. A rapid recovery in demand following the easing of COVID-19 restrictions, shortages of goods and workers, and soaring energy costs are pushing up prices around the world. The cost of living in the UK surged in October to a 10-year high, with the figure now more than double the target set by the Bank of England. The UK's consumer price index rose by 4.2% in the 12 months to October, up from 3.1% in September. Meanwhile, European natural gas jumped to a 3-week high on delays in starting up a controversial new pipeline from Russia. Benchmark European gas prices surged as much as 12%. The price of a crude oil barrel in the global market remained above $80 following a mechanism introduced by the International Energy Agency to control the fuel prices. Many global leaders are in the attempt to stabilize the fuel prices, which are on a higher level at present.
Minister Basil Rajapaksa has presided over the opening of Sri Lanka's first ever medical equipment manufacturing plant in Bandaragama today. The Flexicare Lanka private company, which is a local company fully affiliated to the Flexicare Group of Company of the United States, is in charge of operation. Construction of the ultra-modern factory has commenced during the period of the COVID pandemic. The firm will be engaged in distributing its products among 120 countries. Factories affiliated to the parent company are engaged in operations in countries including the Netherlands, Germany and in China. Plans are being made to export medical equipment processed in the factory. The second stage of the construction plan envisages to further expand the number of employees and to broad-base its production capacities. Health Minister Dr. Kelly Rambukwella at the inauguration ceremony said the company is targeting to fulfill 80% of the country's requirements of the medical supplies. The minister further said the company will be contributing in a substantial extent on the export procedure by implementing an extensive distribution network. Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that the ability to set up the island's first medical equipment manufacturing facility would pave the way to resolve many prominent problems in the country. It would also become a major institute earning foreign exchange. 90% of the equipment manufacturers are intended for exporting. The minister also said that the factory would also help to some extent in providing jobs to the youth. The minister also said that one of the world's leading institute on information and technology will commence operations in Sri Lanka on the 25th of this month. He added that this institution will provide job opportunities to 2,000 persons instantly. Minister Rohitha Abegunawardena, State Minister Jayantha Samaravira, former Health Minister Rajitha Senaratna and parliamentarians Sanshi Vedirimanna, Lalit Kotalavala and Jayantha Katagoda have also graced the occasion.
Meanwhile, Dr. Vajra Chitrasena has been bestowed with the Padmashree Award by the Government of India in recognition of her unique contribution in elevating the Sri Lankan dance profession to the international level. She was felicitated with India's highest civilian award in the presence of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Temple Trees today. Dr. Vajra Chitrasena has received the Padmashree Award from Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle. The simple ceremony has symbolized the honor and prestige of the award, which has been declared annually on the Republic Day of India. Vajra Chitrasena was handed over the award for the year 2020 in acknowledgement of services extended in the field of arts. The Indian government has handed over the award to late Professor Indra Disanayake for her role in popularizing the Hindi language in the Sri Lankan literacy and education sectors. Vatsala Dasanayake, daughter of late Professor Indra Dasanayake, has received the award from President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind, at the Rashtrapati Bhavan on the 8th of this month. Sri Lanka's celebrated music maestro W.D. Amardewa was also conferred the Padmashree Award in the year 2002. Chief of the Prime Minister's staff, Yoshida Rajapaksa, was among the distinguished gathering present at today's award presentation ceremony.
Minister Namal Rajapaksa has presided over the inauguration of the Ratgama Urban Development Project today. The program aims to upgrade the green city development and water supplying according to the Saubhagya Dakma program. The State Ministry of Coastal Conservation and Lowlands Development is in charge of the program. The total cost of the project is 1,200 million rupees. It undertakes the development of internal road network and other infrastructure facilities as well. Among the other people's representatives attended at the event were Minister Ramesh Pathirana and State Ministers Mohan G. Silva and Dr. Nalaka Godaheva, as well as the Southern Province Governor Dr. Willie Gamage.
Now, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has inspected the organic fertilizer packaging centres in Senanayaka Mawatha and in Oyamaduwa in Anuradhapura today. The centres are being managed by the Land Reform Commission. The LRC is engaged in the manufacturing of organic manure in 35 centres in the North Central Province using plant raw materials, animal refuse including dried cow dung. The Commission hopes to produce 50,000 metric tons of fertilizer for the Maha season. The fertilizer is being packaged in 6 centres and supplied to the commercial fertilizer company. The farmers are able to inspect the quality of the produce at the packaging centres. Ministers S.M. Chandrasena and a group of officials have accompanied the President in the inspection tour. Now, in more local stories, Japanese outbound tour operators were connected directly with Sri Lankan inbound tour operators and hoteliers through a webinar organized by the Sri Lanka Mission in Tokyo recently. The Sri Lanka Mission in Tokyo, in collaboration with Sri Lankan Airlines and Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, connected over 265 tour operators and hoteliers live between Japan and Sri Lanka through an informative webinar session. Travel questions regarding PCR tests, vaccinations and on-arrival visa issuance were explained in detail. Sri Lanka was promoted as an exquisite compact destination comprising of areas such as beaches, ecotourism, wildlife and safari, adventure sports, sea trails, heritage and culture and Ayurveda were some of the subjects that were highlighted. Ambassador Sanjeev Gunasekara explained Sri Lanka's consistent recognition as a sought-after tourist destination in the world by most leading travel magazines and publishers, which included the Condé Nast Traveller magazine's recent recommendation of Sri Lanka as a top 5 post-COVID-19 destination in the world to travel. Chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines Ashok Pathirage and Chairperson of the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau Kimali Fernando also took part in the webinar session.
The newly developed playground of Hindu College Jaffna was declared open recently. A limited over match was played between Hindu College Jaffna and Royal College Colombo, symbolizing the inauguration last Saturday. The modern playground was declared open by President of the UK branch of the Old Boys Association of Jaffna Hindu College, Shantiratnam Jayaprakash. UK branch of the Old Boys Association of Jaffna Hindu College has provided funds worth 55 million rupees for this initiative. Minister Namal Rajapaksa shared a tweet commending the initiative undertaken by the UK branch of the Old Boys Association for the development of the school playground. He had further said that the new playground will provide the platform for students to achieve great heights in the field of sports. Symbolizing the inauguration of the ground, a match was played between Hindu College Jaffna and Royal College Colombo. The principals of the schools, teachers, past students and other distinguished guests were present at this occasion. A single lane was reopened for traffic in Kadugannava on the Colombo-Kandy main road around noon today. The road has remained closed for a week due to threats of earthslip. Director General of the Road Development Authority, Sardavir Khan, says that the road has been reopened by taking into consideration of the recommendations of the Building Research Organization. Vehicles travelling towards Kandy from Colombo and also vehicles heading for Colombo from Kandy are being diverted on a single lane with the intervention of the police. The Road Development Authority requests motorists to use alternate routes in order to avoid traffic congestion.
Well, that's a wrap of tonight's primetime news bulletin here at Rupavahini Channel I. And until we meet again next time, do take care, stay safe and good night.
Good night.